If you would like to continue receiving communion kneeling down, we ask that you sign a waiver that releases our parish from any liability that may arise due to your action. You will also be legally responsible for any harm that your action may cause to the ministers or the people around you when taking communion kneeling down. Thank you for your understanding, end quote. Here's the deal. You got to sign a waiver. And if you cause an accident, now I've been receiving on my knees Holy Communion for over 10 years. I have never seen an accident of anyone falling down, pushed down, knocked down, priest knocked down, never. And at my parish, which is a traditional Latin Mass parish, people who can't kneel, elderly people, people with broken legs, people on crutches, people in wheelchairs, guess what? It's no problem. If they're in a wheelchair, they go right up to the rail and Father reaches over the rail and gives them communion as they're seated in the wheelchair. I've seen people come up on crutches, standing and lean forward, and Father puts the most precious host in their mouth. I've seen elderly people do the same thing. No one is forced, and when you have communion rails, to kneel down if they cannot. So I don't know what they're talking about, legal responsibility of hurting people to kneel for Holy Communion. It doesn't make any sense. And they say, well, we don't have any kneelers, communion kneelers. We'll get some. How dare a parish post that you got to sign a waiver and be legally responsible? What this is, it's a threat to scare people away from kneeling for Holy Communion. We need a dialogue with the clergy and we need a dialogue with the bishop. So I want you to reach out to the bishop of this parish. His name is Bishop Alberto Rojas of San Bernardino Diocese in California. He's an interesting guy. Like so many of the up-and-coming bishops, they hail from which city? If you watch the Dr. Taylor Marshall podcast, you know which city it is. It's the ground zero for modernism and liberalism in the church in America, Chicago. The clergy who go through Mundelein and who go through Chicago make their way into prominent positions in the American Catholic Church because Chicago is a hotbed of heresy, modernism, liberalism. Bishop Alberto Rojas went through the Archdiocese of Chicago's Casa Jesus program for Hispanic immigrants, but it was shut down in 2016, says LifeSite News, because of pedophilia and a sodomy scandal. So not good. Or this parish actually, St. Kateri, is linked up with the LGBT outreach program of James Martin, the Jesuit. This activism group founded by Father James Martin and the Human Rights Campaign, the largest LGBT pressure group in the United States and a staunch proponent of gender transitions for children. So we've got a parish saying, don't get on your knees and receive communion, but also we're associated with the LGBT ministries, James Martin, gender transitions for kids. This is all wicked and evil. Rojas withdrew the faculties of a priest in his diocese who criticized him for signing the statement. So one of his priests were like, hey, you shouldn't be supporting that. And he goes, oh yeah? Well, guess what? I just pulled your faculties. You can't function as a priest. You're in trouble. This is the tyranny that people are living under in the Catholic Church. And we have to shout it from the rooftops. No more are we lay people going to remain silent while the Bishop Alberto Rojas's promote sins crying out to heaven. Watch this next video. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and subscribe for more videos. We got lots of great content coming